Most people think the car is the proof you've made it. Nice paint, loud engine, monthly payment that quietly eats your future. That's the trap. The car isn't transportation anymore. It's a wearable status badge with wheels. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'm going to walk you through the invisible psychology behind car payments. Not the math, the behavior, the quiet social games, the ego trades, the way people accidentally rent a personality from a dealership. Let's begin. The upgrade trap. You got a raise, promotion, new job. Your brain says, this is who I am now. You didn't upgrade your life. You upgraded your fixed expenses. You didn't climb the ladder. You put ankle weights on. Here's what actually happened. Your income went up, and instead of buying time, peace, or optionality, you bought a heavier monthly obligation. The car becomes a receipt that says, I promise to stay stressed. People swear the car motivates them. It pushes me to work harder. No, it traps you into needing the job you already hate. The dealership smiles while locking your future into 72 equal slices. That's 6 years. 6. That's not a purchase. That's a relationship. With penalties. And the wild part? The excitement lasts about 3 weeks. Then it's just a car, but the payment sticks around like a bad roommate who never leaves. The monthly lie. Monthly framing makes expensive things feel harmless. You just ignored the total and focused on the drip. Death by autopay. Nobody walks into a dealership asking, how much is this really costing me over time? They ask, what's the payment? Because payments feel small. Totals feel scary. $600 a month doesn't sound insane. $43,200 over 6 years sounds like a life decision. And that's before interest, insurance, maintenance, tires, gas, registration, the random mystery noise that shows up right after the warranty expires. The car isn't $600. It's a subscription to staying busy. And the dealership knows this. That's why the first number they show you isn't the price. It's the payment. They're not selling cars. They're selling emotional affordability. Your brain hears only and stops thinking. The audience effect. Status signaling. Respect. Validation. Nobody cares after 10 seconds. It's a very expensive cosplay called Successful Adult. Watch this happen in real time. Someone pulls into a parking lot with a luxury badge. They step out a little taller, shoulders back, phone in hand. For 10 seconds they feel seen. Then everyone goes back to their own problems. That's it. That's the payoff. The car doesn't change how people treat you long term. It changes how you feel walking into the room, briefly, and you pay thousands for that moment. Worse, the people you're trying to impress are usually broke too. They're just quieter about it. Everyone is cosplaying success for each other. No one's fooled. Everyone's just playing along. This car represents me. You outsourced your personality to a brand. You leased self-esteem. People say things like, I'm a BMW guy, or I've always been a truck person. Translation, I need objects to tell people who I am. When the car becomes identity losing, it feels like losing status. So you'll protect it at all costs, even if it means staying in a job you hate, even if it means never taking risks. Freedom becomes too expensive. You didn't buy transportation. You bought a cage with heated seats. The forever payment. I'm being responsible. You normalized permanent payments. Financial Stockholm Syndrome. Some people hear this and say, I didn't buy flashy. I bought practical. Okay, why are you still paying for it 5 years later? The issue isn't the type of car, it's the habit. Once a payment becomes normal, your brain builds around it. Budgets shrink. Risk tolerance disappears. Every decision must now support the payment. And here's the kicker. Once it's paid off, instead of enjoying the freedom, people rush to replace it. Why? Because they've been trained to live with a car bill. That's not responsibility. That's conditioning. The cheap money excuse. Using logic to defend an emotional decision. You still locked future income. Rationalizing a dopamine purchase. Even at low interest, the cost isn't just financial, it's psychological. A car payment reduces optionality. It makes you less flexible, less patient, more reactive. You need income now, which means you can't wait for better opportunities. You can't walk away easily. You can't breathe. Low interest doesn't change that. Quick pause. If this is already making you uncomfortable, good. That means you're seeing the game. If you want to stop acting rich and actually get rich, subscribe. This channel exists to rip the mask off these traps before they cost you years. All right, back to it. The dealer question. Feeling in control. You surrendered the negotiation. Volunteering to be manipulated. The moment you answer that question, you lost. You didn't negotiate price. You negotiated how long they get to own your paycheck. They can stretch the term, adjust the rate, shuffle fees, all to hit your magic number. You feel smart. They feel rich. And the car leaves the lot already worth less than what you owe. The work image trap. Professional signaling. Competence beats chrome. Polishing the shell instead of building leverage. People think the right car helps them be taken seriously. In reality, results do. No one remembers your rims. They remember if you deliver. If a job requires a car payment to maintain respect, that's not a career. That's a costume party. The comparison poison. Social comparison. You're comparing visible debt to invisible stress. Highlight real economics. You see the car, you don't see the anxiety, the tight budget, the fights about money, the maxed cards. You only see the paint, and your brain fills in the rest with fantasy. That fantasy is expensive. The deserve lie. Rewarding yourself with obligation. You confused pleasure with progress. Paying for dopamine with time. You worked hard, you're tired. You want to win, so you buy something that feels like success instead of something that creates it. They didn't buy freedom, they bought silence. Silence from the feeling that something's off. Silence that fades when the bill shows up again. Here's the pattern laid bare. People don't buy cars, they buy feelings. Status, relief, identity, belonging. The payment is just the receipt for the story they're telling themselves. Once you see that the illusion collapses, real wealth doesn't scream. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't show up in a parking lot begging to be noticed. It shows up as choice, as calm, as not flinching when life moves. Looking rich is loud. Being rich is quiet. Stickman out.